Hey, what's up? Welcome to the channel. So I thought that I would do some weekly live streams going over some charts that I find interesting, maybe dive deeper into companies, whatnot. Just, basically doing some of my educational stuff that I should be doing for my own interests, but doing it live. If you guys have any requests, you can drop them in the comments. This one's unfortunately not live. Next week, though, Sunday, 8 p.m. Central, I should be able to do another one of these. So if you do find this video, subscribe and let me know in the comments what you think, and we can go over some stuff in the live chat and whatnot next week if this one goes over well. And I should note that this is degenerative education. So this is, really just for entertainment purposes, just me kind of exploring stuff that I'm interested in, doing it casually. But yeah, I've been experimenting with other channels over the past probably 5 years, doing stuff, educational stuff, and it hasn't really taken off. And I thought that I'd experiment with this channel to see if I could have more success with it, because I think this is, complementary to a lot of my interests. And, that's basically what I'm going to get into with this video, is just going over a few charts for stocks that I'm interested in. And yeah. Let me know what you think. If you want to see more stuff like this, or if you think what I'm doing stupid, let me know that too. But yeah, so here behind me I have Weeble. You should be able to see the cursor there. Had an issue with that with my first record. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but this is not live. I should be able to do that next week. So that kind of sucks. But, I'm just going to record this like it is live, and this is kind of, the experience that you'd get if this were to be done live, which it will be next Sunday at 8 p.m. Central. And so, yeah, I've just got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stocks here that I'm interested in. And I was just going to go over some of my thoughts with them, with this first one being Hycroft Mining, or as I like to call it, HYMC. And yeah, so over the past, closed Friday at just under 30 cents. And this is the chart going back to the beginning of 2022. And you notice that there's this kind of, big squeeze that happened. I believe this was around the time that AMC was getting involved with Hycroft. Their partnership that AMC is part owner, I believe is what it is. And around this time, sometime in March, I believe I first got my first shares of this. And as you note, the price this time was, above $1. It had a high of, about over $3. And now it's trading at 10% of that value. And miraculously through this process, I was able to make a little bit of money with it. I did not no net losses with it. And so I thought I'd kind of go over how I did that, and why I'm interested in this stock now. And basically the way that I did that is I bought a very small amount initially, and I just waited for it to come down. I thought that it would come down to let's see, there's this gap here between, between like 38 cents and 62 cents. There's this gap. And so when this launched up, I, said, I'm going to buy a few shares, but I'm going to wait for this gap to fill. And I think at 42 cents, 0.420 cents, $0.420, I should say. I started building a larger position and was able to take advantage of some of these swings. I'm currently not holding any right now because I feel that there's going to be a reverse stock split in October this month, because as far as keeping the listing on the NASDAQ, it's below $1. So I suspect there will be like a 10-to-1 reverse split, and usually when that happens, stock prices drop. So I recently closed my position, I think a couple weeks ago, because I was a little skeptical of what was going on. And let's see, I was gonna try to plot, let's see if I can do a parallel channel. Yeah, so let's see, I've got this here, and let's see if I go to these spikes here, and then I'll just do it right there. So yeah, there's this really nice, downward trending channel, and I saw it move up here, and I thought that might be my exit, and I did close my position here, which is not a very big position, and I thought that, oh, well, if there's going to be a reverse split coming up, I'll wait for that to happen before I re-enter. And also thinking that, let's see, I'll put a horizontal line here with this low at around, I believe, 28 cents. That seemed like, that's something that might be retested. And I think that the stock will actually go lower than that. Probably, at this point to retest the bottom of this channel. And but yeah, I have a lot of confidence in this company, perhaps because, bias, being an ape, whatever, getting into AMC and GME, but being patient with this one, so my average isn't super high. I don't have a position right now, so I was thinking, it could be a very good time to establish a large position in this. I should also note that the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, is this is for the daily, I believe, is not 30. It's not below 30. So I also think that the price of it could come down more. It could become a little bit weaker to establish that position. So yeah, I just wanted to go over this because I found this channel to be really interesting, and that the decisions that I've made following this company, following this stock, have been fairly good in a way that I've been able to make money with this. But I don't really have a position right now, so waiting for the right time to establish that. And also some other things that kind of turned me off to holding this position when it came below 50 cents. The options, there were not really that many options going on. So let's see. I'm actually not used to looking at this on the computer. I usually just do this on my phone. But I think I'm not sure if it's cut off some or if I'm just reading this wrong. Let's see. But yeah, I think those are just, $1, $2, $3. Yeah, options here. And, it would be November 17th that you'd get one that's 50 cents. And yeah, so I just don't think that there are many good ways. What I like to do is I like to build up to or have at least 100 shares so I can sell covered calls every week to make a little bit of money as I hold. And there's just not really that many options with this stock. I guess I could, in order to do analysis, I need to log in. I haven't logged into this because, what's going on? Okay, there we go. I haven't logged into Webull just because, I'm not too familiar with streaming or, recording with this kind of trading stuff, so I thought I'd just be careful with that. I'll probably get into that access later on, but just not to start. Anyway, so I don't hold any Hycroft, but the other stocks that are listed here, I do hold some of, and so I thought I'd just kind of break down, why I got interested in them at the levels that they're at, and maybe you guys agree, maybe you don't. So this one, ChargePoint, I think we're all pretty familiar with ChargePoint. I imagine so. CHPT. And so one of the reasons is the daily RSI is below 30. And so, that tells me that it's a good time to establish a position. There was also recently this gap down from about $7 to $6.20, $6.30, something like that. And, now it's below $5. So, thinking about options, getting into that, if my average is below $5, I could be selling covered calls on this every week. And then when it goes above 5, that's fine. I get closed out. But it seems like it's a good time to be building up shares for that. And let's see. I mean, looking at taking a step back with this chart, might go to the weekly. And this is the lowest it's ever been. I'm sure it could go a lot lower, but yeah, even looking at the weekly chart, the RSI almost 30. Every time it's touched the 30 RSI, this was at that dip before it ran up. Here, another dip before it ran up, and here another dip before it ran up and then came back down. So with it touching there, I feel like it's a good time to establish a position. So that's what I've been doing, slowly averaging in, building up to 100 shares to start selling a covered call, or get more shares in that and sell covered calls. Nice way to make a little bit of money. But yeah, I don't have, let's see, too much technical analysis and thoughts on this other than, let's see, there's this bottom, right there. And so hopefully we don't go lower than that, but we very well might. So, we'll see. I think this is an interesting stock to establish a position in right now. So that's what I've been doing. And that was something that I identified myself, just thinking about another stock to add to my portfolio, and noticing the RSI, the price of it, all of that. So but these other stocks, I was kind of at least Chewy and American Airlines. I learned about these positions from Gareth Soloway, and I think his channel is Verified Investing, something like that. I became aware of these from him, and I thought, I could start averaging into positions here to make, a tiny bit of money, see what happens. And so Chewy is, RSI, daily RSI is 22, and, it's never been this low before. Apparently, there are some bullish signals here, moving average, convergence, divergence with the MACD, outside bar, bullish, and engulfing line, bullish. So I'm not really paying attention to these indicators. I'm just thinking about how the RSI is low with this, and it's a nice time to establish a small position and see where it goes. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm this is of all of these stocks, this is the one I guess I have more of a position than Hycroft, but this one I'm just it's the smallest position that I have of these stocks that I have positions in. But yeah, it seems like a good time to hopefully let it rise up a little bit. Maybe just, come up to the 50-day moving average, which is around 26. So, that's making some money there. And I guess looking back, ChargePoint, if there was to be this gap fill, that seems like a great time to exit, or maybe hitting the 50 MA, which is a little under $7. Anyways, coming back to Chewy, this seems like an interesting position. Also, with the Dumb Money movie coming out, GameStop, and Ryan Cohen, I believe, being a founder of Chewy, and now he's the CEO of GameStop. So anyways, I just think that this is an interesting position, and that's why I've started to build one. Another one also alerted to me by Gareth Soloway, so we'll see what happens with this. If I take a step back, look at the weekly, believe, let's see how far I can, might do the monthly. Okay, let's see what happens when I draw the trend line from here to there, whatever. That's hitting all of these points, lots of support, then this ramps up here, more touch points, whatnot. And so right now we're a little bit below that line. The line's not perfect. I'm not the best at this. But yeah, I mean, so there's, potential for this to go down a lot more. But if we look at the daily, I could probably adjust that to be a little bit lower. Maybe I want to look at the weekly to, I don't know. But yeah, looking at the daily, it's below 30. So, I imagine since it's not below 30 with the weekly or the monthly, it could probably go down a little bit more. But what I've been trying to do is establish a small position, 100 shares, so I can sell covered call with an average below $13, but also waiting to see if it goes lower. So, not doing it too aggressively. And yeah, because I think that, this is at 13, I could just be looking at max pain to get an idea of what weekly closes would be at for option expirations. And so, if I could get a position here following the max pain, I could ride this up to, let's see, this is around $19. Not only making money as the price goes up, but also making money off of selling covered calls. So that's something I'm really interested in. But we'll see what happens with it tomorrow. I'm looking forward to adding a little bit more to my position. And then this final stock is Luminar Technologies. So it's like LiDAR safety stuff for cars. And I've followed this stock for a long time, pretty much since it IPO'd or DPO'd, whatever it was. And followed it down and haven't really been too aggressive with trades with it. But with it coming down to, previously having hit $4 a couple days ago, and RSI being below 30 and then coming back out, I've established a small position. I am curious to see if it will surpass the lows here, but as of right now, it looks like it's a higher low slightly. And so however that is, that line, not perfect. I'm not the best at this. But yeah, I feel like this, starting at 450, this could potentially double. And, before, let's see, where do I think is some resistance? It looks like, here right around $8, that makes sense, psychological level. Let's see if I do a horizontal line, right around $8. Yeah, so, this could nearly double when going up to that range. It'd probably also find resistance here, though, which is around 550, because that was support before that had broken down. So I wouldn't be surprised if this became new resistance. Also, with it having been support here, that looks like it's a pretty significant level bounce here. So while it would be nice if this were to go up to 8, it seems like, maybe get a 25%, 20% increase before it touches the 50-day moving average and this, what is probably like resistance. This seems like an interesting trade, at least for the short term. And, eventually I imagine it will break above this line and go much higher. But yeah, that's pretty much, all of the analysis, all of the thoughts that I had. This is just about 20 minutes long. And I'm going to switch back to like this kind of background screen. So if you did enjoy this video, let me know in the comments below if there are some things you'd like to see, other stocks you'd like to see me talk about. I'd be happy to take requests for next week's stream at 8 p.m. But yeah, I'm pretty much just going to end this now. I'll post it, and we'll see what happens over the next week. If this gets some traction, I'll probably do more videos like this, perhaps more than once a week. But, I think this is, just good for me and thinking about these stocks, different levels to consider, diving into stuff that I normally just do on my phone fairly casually. In this way, I'm, being more accountable for the decisions that I'm making, looking into this stuff. So yeah, anyways, it's over 20 minutes now. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Do this again casually. Have some fun together. All right. See you next week.